right? December at some point was like a 95% probability of happening, has now dropped to less than 50%. It's a huge, huge, huge drop right there. So let's see. Market AI is generating analysis, giving us a brief of what's going on futures in the past few days that we have missed. Yo, what's going on? Good morning, Kev. Good morning, Slaw on YouTube. What's going on, guys? If you like the live stream today, don't forget, guys, I do live stream Monday through Friday with our community at Bullish Bears, who we are live with right now as well. You guys say what's up. Hope you're all doing well. Hope everybody had a great weekend, man. Ready to make some money. So S&P 500. The S&P 500 showed resilience today, holding above its 50-day moving average despite a risk-off tone. Guys, risk-off means selling pressure. When people are risk-on, that means they're taking on risk, they're taking on positions, they're going long. This is what I was just telling you guys about, though. Sector rotation away from tech and growth stocks. The market faces increased volatility. Whenever you hear increased volatility, what that means is it means a stronger VIX. And a stronger VIX just means more bearish, right? So we know if VIX goes up, usually stocks go down. Volatility can normally mean to bearish markets. As the probability of a December Fed rate cut dropped sharply from 70 to around 40%. 40%, that's crazy. Following mixed Fed official comments and Chair Powell's cautious remarks, defensive sectors outperformed while small caps and high beta stocks underperformed. Now we could also see what's going on. Any big headlines? I want to make sure we're not missing anything either. Yo, good morning from Morocco. Hey, what up, Globetrotter? Going on, man? Congrats on the move, bro. Said from New York. Cool, man. All right, New York Fed accepts 2.55 billion of 2.55 billion submitted to standing repo facility November 17. That's nothing too major for us. Does show it would have a bearish impact on the ES. Canada inflation October eases to 2.2% on lower gasoline and food prices. Good for Canada. And let's see, my screen is shared on Discord. Perfect. Strategy, aggregated Bitcoin holding. That's crazy, man. They have a shit ton of Bitcoin. Polish special, yada yada. So nothing major. What's cool too, they added recently, when you did search before, they didn't have popular and high impact. Now you could search high impact, and we could do like US, and see if it's anything recent on the US. So some pharmaceutical over there. Switzerland wins US tariff rate cut, pledges large US investments. That's great. Switzerland wins, that same thing we just saw over there. I do see sometimes there are repeats. But there are updates, so check it out. It shows more of an in-depth. So before it says US tariff rate cut for Switzerland is a concrete policy change, likely boosting risk sentiment. So boosting risk sentiment brings things more risk on and benefiting exporters. US, and then up here it says US tariff rate cut from 39% to 15%. That's a massive decrease and ease on tariffs on Swiss goods. And is a major policy change, with Switzerland pledging 200 billion in US investments. That is crazy, man. You can hit the brain icon, it sums it up for you, gives you a little rundown. You hit the little button there and it copies it for you. Boom, just like that. That's awesome. Alright, guys, save 10% on market. Use discount code KEV. They are going to run Black Friday in like 4 days. I think it's going to be like 20% off the lifetime or yearly or something like that. What's up, Winfield? Yo, let's check out gold. Check out. So overall bias wise, ES and Q. Let's do our setups too. Let's do our trade analysis. Which one are we putting over here? This one. Yeah. Alright, so let's update our previous day high, previous day low, and our market levels. So market level, pullback level to the upside is going to be 67, 65, 67, 65. And then bearish target 67.20. That's right where our other target was, 67.20. I'm going to delete, this is an old fib from the other day, not necessary. I will say, something to note is whenever price enters this range down here from around 6,660, to about 6,730, buyers have stepped in. And that's going back all the way to late October, where every time price enters this zone, buyers step in the market, buyers stepped in, buyers stepped in. Now, something to note, at this point, we've had a few reactions. First reaction was this one right here, where buyers stepped in and gave us a move this big. Second reaction we had was the move right here, and it was only this big. Now here we are on our third reaction, and what's our reaction doing? It's starting to fail. I'm thinking, you guys heard it here, it's going to go lower. But we're either going up or we're going down. I do think, however, we're getting some weakness here to the downside on the S&P and the NASDAQ. With all the risk-off sentiment we're seeing, we have the Fed policy changes huge. Guys, the optimism of the September rate cut in October is what really drove us up, right? We were pricing it in, so to speak. We were optimistic on markets. Things were moving higher, higher, higher. And then what happened? Powell started speaking around, this was late October. He said, I'm not too sure. We're not 100% definite on the next rate cut. We don't know if we definitely need it in December, yada, yada. That gave more of a hawkish tone. What happened? Markets reacted, more bearish reaction. Happened again over here. And then we even saw more recently, it dropped from that 68 to 44%. That is giving us more of a bearish sentiment. I do not want to be